happening? Let's see, make sure y'all can hear me. Trying something different. Trying to put myself in a box up here, trying to see how it is. Trying to get people time to come up in here. Trying this new time, like 9:35. Get my banners right, y'all. What's happening? What's happening? Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Turn on my mic. Yo, I know y'all missed me last week. Hey, this is Let's Talk About It Tuesdays with your boy, the Lochness, of course. Pretty much, I've been looking at the different signings we have. Why didn't nobody even tell me we signed Felipe Franks back? Why didn't nobody tell me we signed Felipe Franks back? Why nobody told me that? Where's BlackBerry at when you need them? I remember when we had the walk down memory lane when we talked about Felipe Franks and BlackBerry blew up. Hey, what's happening? You can hear me? Coos. All right, so have y'all, I don't know, sometimes people come over from the Ladybird show be going on. But let's get my show started. No worries. Let's talk about it Tuesdays. The topic of today: did the Atlanta Falcons find their Grady Jarrett replacement? If you noticed that the Atlanta Falcons are filling all the necessary needs in free agency, and they're doing it with the least amount of money, the most budgeted buys you can find. But also, before I continue, follow me at the Lochness Podcast on YouTube. That is the Lochness Podcast on YouTube. For those who don't follow me, it takes nothing just to follow me. Hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so my videos can get out to more people. Still trying to get my new channel, monetized, so I could keep on bringing y'all this content, and it could be more than just part-time. But yeah, also follow the Atlanta Falcons Nation, Mad My Sports, anything, GSN, everybody, like our whole squad. We got a squad, you know what I'm saying, if you don't know. But let's talk about it. Did the Atlanta Falcons find their Grady Jarrett replacement? Understanding that there were some needs that need to be felt, but like I was saying, they're feeling the need of our team on the defensive side. It's like they're putting emphasis on the defense is not going to be the problem. You know what I'm saying? What people don't understand is there's nobody in, the draft that you're going to put in and it's going to make automatically the team more stout. It's like understanding that even with drafting, you can draft somebody that one of the best edge rushers in the draft. That doesn't mean that he's going to complement our team. They have to get people that are willing to play. Like I said, they're still from college. They're still young. I mean, we've seen what happens when you put someone in from college and then put them in a position where they're already starting, which some people can be plug and play. They're just that freakish of good talent and athleticism. But Jeff Holton said it already himself. Time for Root to step up. Exactly. but he's also still young. Sometimes it's a development process. Was he somebody that was jumping off the page in college to a point where they already put him in the game automatically? Like they started him day one? Sometimes people have to sit behind someone for 2 or 3 years. Sometimes you have to, and we said it before, where I felt like, and a lot of us felt like it wasn't the players so much as it was our coaching. Our coaching was kind of blah blah. To be real with you, our coaching was blah blah, and I think that's what really. I think Raheem Morris put his foot in his mouth when he was saying stuff like, when people were asking him like, "Why you have such a large coaching staff?" And he was like, "Oh, I gotta prepare because there's a lot of us finna get all. That's a lot of my team. They get jobs. They finna get some jobs. Like he's finna have them to a point where they finna get some jobs." You know, one of the things that I feel like Raheem Morris, and I know this is deviating from the topic, is one of the things because that I think he does fairly well is smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. I think he does that very well. That means that press ideology of himself, that representation of himself in the press, lovely. He speaks with confidence. He articulates very well. You know, they say when a black person, like when a person talks, you're very well spoken. That's like reminding the Boondocks, right? But yeah, definitely. I feel like we had players. Like it always summed up to the coaching. And we seen what happened last season. We seen what happened last season where we're not willing to pull the trigger. Like if you're gonna command the team from a mile away, people saw that, hey, what's happening, D. Coleman? What's happening with D. Coleman? Shout out to everybody. Let me stop right quick. Let me shout out to everybody who stepped in here already. Tay, Jeff, D. Coleman, DA, GA, Texas boy, Gats boy. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? Appreciate y'all for stopping by, coming up in here. What I do my team. You know what I'm talking about? Fashowski, the new era is here. Man, like just to piggyback on what I was saying, still, it's like Raheem Morris, to me, I honestly felt like he didn't. I don't know if he really understood the magnitude of how much he could have done. He still can. I mean, it's never too late, but it doesn't sit well when we don't look. We got more wins. We still didn't win the division. You know what I'm saying? We beat that 7-10 curse. We were 6-3. You just kept a guy in there who said he wasn't hurt. Like I said, it's like, just think if we would have allowed Penix to go in after Kirk Cousins' first debacle of a game, and Kirk Cousins could have gotten more rest, he could have healed a little bit more after 2 games. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that. What's on Nathan Floyd? Red and black. Y'all put in the chat where y'all, viewing from, like what city you in, what state, whatever the case may be. But I honestly feel like our coaching, man, we're coaches away. That's why I don't feel like the draft is going to make a big difference if you have players and they're under coached, they're not well coached, they're not galvanized. And then what that does is it deflates the locker room. It puts people up in arms to a point where they don't want to play for the team. They don't want to play for the organization because they don't. You see it all the time when a player goes from one place. Think about how the Eagles were when they had Andy Reid. Think about how Andy Reid did or didn't win as much. But as soon as he went to Kansas City, because Kansas City was terrible. But as soon as Andy Reid went down to Kansas City, man, they've been like the top team, regardless of the cause. But it's like they've been like the top team. Yeah, bad coaching, bad leadership. It's just what it is. I just feel like we got complimentary players. We had players. We had there's no way, bro. There's no way. There's no way. So I understand this, and just to pause for a minute. I understand why some people will be like, "Hey, man, I just want my money, bro. Because we ain't gonna win. I just want my money." So sometimes that happens. D. Coleman said the theme of the last season was too late. Too late changing QBs, too late changing kicker, too late changing the coverages, too late calling the timeouts. I'm telling you, bro, post that on whatever social media you own for the Atlanta Falcons and be like, hey, and tag Raheem Morris in that, bro. It was like too late. Too late. Everything was just too late, man. When you had timeouts, it was crazy. Like people looking like color timeout. And then Koo just shanking kicks, and it's just like, bro, what we? And then they saying he's hurt, and I'm like, hey man, y'all just allowing people that are hurt. Everybody ain't gonna be Michael Jordan's Game 6 flu game. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody ain't gonna be Game 6, man. Everybody ain't gonna be flu game. Everybody can't go out there hurt and still play. This ain't one of the movies where you can be like, hey, my arm, snap it back in. I'm going back in. Like, it's no. They're looking for that moment when they throw the ball in the air and they say that, here goes my hero. And then everything stars online. That's not the case. That's not the case. We can't have these coaching mishaps like this, or you gonna lose your locker room. I honestly think, like I said, with Raheem Morris, and like I said, this is way off topic, but I really think that he's probably, I don't know. I'm like, he smiling away, boys. He got the representation right in the media. I was looking at the conversation he had with Ryan Clark. When Ryan Clark was just like, "Hey, who you gonna stop?" Who's like, "What about?" He's like, "You got no name people here." He's like, "What about Jesse Bates is?" He was like, "Whoa!" And they went to a conversation. He was just like, Jesse Bates, 3 proven people: Grady, Jesse, AJ, and David. And then he alluded to the where I believe in my guys. I'm gonna instill something in them. Oh, no. So Nielsen maximized the defense in the 23. We added what we thought we was young, better players, and got worse. That's coaching. Minus Burr and Calais, we brought back a lot of the same guys. Houseway. Bro, it's coaching. It's coaching. No matter how you, man, I might have to do a segment on Raheem Morris again and the coaching staff and what we had and what we have. Because you're right. Nielsen came over. He brought Ellis. He got David Onyemata over here. It's like they followed him. It's just like what is it, Ubrick? I thought we was gonna get the guy from Reed, that corner, that DB. I thought we was gonna get him because he was over there with quality DB. But then you gotta understand, we still got people, and I think this is the mindset, y'all. We still have people that haven't really had their opportunities yet. So we're gonna go to this segment, putting together the defensive pieces. We have people already. We got a Brandon Trice, edge rusher. We finally got our edge rusher. And then he got hurt. And what happened? Sat down, right? We don't even know what he gonna do. We still got young players. But then again, it starts with tackling. He's like, oh yeah, Bud. I remember, oh Bud, cousin Bud. Everybody we brought in was a improvement on who was allowed to walk. Yes. I give you that. That's why I say we're putting together the defensive pieces. If you think about it like this, also, this is what I need you to understand. Everybody that we brought in that's a staple on the defense, a Diablo, a Morgan Fox, a Leonard Floyd, all of those guys are complementary guys, meaning they are better next to somebody that's better or somebody that's good. And then with them, and then it's like by committee. You think about it like this. If I talked about it when I did my Grady Jarrett segment on when we released him. Shout out to Grady. But I talked about it on his numbers never jumped off the page. He was a locker room leader, a hometown hero, but understanding that because he was a hometown hero and a locker room presence and a leader, and he galvanized the defense, his production wasn't there. I think that's the real reason why he was allowed to be in that position for so long, because he was a hometown hero, and his dad is Jesse Tuggle and stuff like that. Shout out to Jesse Tuggle. But what we're doing now is finding people that we can get your numbers with a multitude of people. We don't need you for that price. Also, I can split your money into 3 different ways and get 3 quality people that will do the same thing. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I don't know if anybody know anything about retail. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all some retail 1-on-1. Okay, and I'm gonna give y'all leadership 1-on-1 before I go to the comments. But in retail, when you're a leader, I'm pretty sure y'all heard this. When you're a leader, they expect you to do 3 to 4 people jobs. That's how they looked at Grady Jarrett. You should be able to do 3 to 4 people jobs, so they wouldn't have to hire 3 to 4 people. They're saving money. That's why Grady Jarrett was probably in the position he was in. We was allowing him to do 3 to 4 people jobs, but we want to give them results. You gotta go. He said, shout out to the trap room. Rise up, Dirty Birds. My heart beats. Rise up, Fashowski. Timothy. Grant Fuller, Fox, Lemon, Diablo, Carter, Floyd, Williams, Agnew. I wasn't even gonna talk about Agnew yet, but we got a guest coming in. Coach, what's happening? Oh, he ain't ready. Got Black, Jada Black. Hello, Jada. What's happening? I'm not as optimistic so far. Feel like the defense is hope and hoping band-aids. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Okay, D-Com, let me stop before. Hey, hold on, y'all. We got to stop right here on this comment. Let me talk D-Com. Let me pull you in, D-Com. I don't disagree, but no, no, it's not really hoping. No, it's you got to understand. We still have pieces. We still have young pieces. We're getting veterans in those pieces to help develop those younger pieces. Just think if you had Brandon Trice being, mentored or seeing how it is to be a complementary edge, Rook learning from Morgan Fox to learn how to be an interior defensive lineman, so then they can pass the torch. We can't have it.
Okay, I'm back.
You back. Okay. All right, so we got coach in the building.
I was hearing myself talk.
You said, could Hellman get a look at the box safety? I believe certain I guess Hellman's Hellman's. I don't know if he hit and make them turn into mayonnaise. Pause that. But I guess it's the formation. If the formation calls for it, like y'all gotta understand that once we get in certain formations in our packages, it's based off the other team. If they see that, oh man, they give it up if you got the box safety. The box safety run free. They're gonna scout that. But yeah, coach, what we're talking about right now, just coming in, we're talking about putting together the defensive pieces, and right now we're talking about the defensive pieces that we're putting together. Oh, we got another one up in the building. Black Bear, what's happening?
In the building. Yeah, what's going on with you, my dog? Go ahead, Fed. I'm just here to bounce off of you and Coach. I'm just happy to be here.
All right.
I just popped in myself.
Yeah. So, Coach, like I was asking Coach, basically talking about the defensive pieces that we putting together. I'm gonna pull D Coleman's I'm gonna pull up D Coleman's right here. D Coleman said he's not optimistic about what we've done so far on the defensive side of free agency. He said it's just pretty much hope and band-aids at this point, and he feeling like he's hoping that he's wrong. Go ahead.
Everybody that we're bringing in have had significant time at playing. They have played football. They're not like coming here, and they're not old for one.
That I'm about to get to that. Go ahead. right at 30.
And then for me, a lot of these guys are familiar with this. Yeah, they're under 30. Yeah. Hey, it's a filling out thing because nobody's gonna know. You can bring in all these superstars. We've done it in the past, and they ain't done that before.
Right.
So somebody who's trying to they try to make a name for themselves, like the Fox kid. He's not probably gonna be a starter, but he's gonna get that rotation guy. You need rotation. You need bodies. So
yeah, definitely.
We lost 23 free agents, so yeah, we need bodies.
Yeah, definitely that. What you think, Black Bear? What you think about? He said he's not optimistic about what we've been doing. So, what you feel about what we done brought in so far on the defensive side?
I'm with Coach. I think these are they're not supposed to be pieces for you to be optimistic about. It's just it's the very strategic game plan right now going into the draft. My theory is that they think that the stars that they're, and I know a lot of people say, well, Raheem don't typically play young guys on the defensive side of the ball. That's true. But Coach has been helping me.
Because
go ahead. What you say, Coach?
No, I'm gonna say because think about it, he started Kobe Young. Last year he was in the Rams. He started 2 rookies. That ain't
so
and those guys sold out when they came to the Rams too.
Yeah, so then I guess I have a theory that could work because I think that they believe that they can find a couple of stars in this year's draft that could blossom early in 2025. I really think that's what they believe. Because if we can't say that we feel like the defensive side of the ball in the draft is deep, but then say, yeah, but we can't expect that much from them because they're rookies. No, you can't straddle the fence like that. Either you think it's some studs in this draft or you don't. Either you think it's some impact guys in this draft or you don't. So I think they believe there's some studs. I believe that they think that they got something in the works to make some splash moves on draft night and make some trades and get some real impact players on the defensive side of the ball in these draft. What you saying, Cole?
I got a question for both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all think Deion Jones, DeAndre Campbell, Poole, and those guys and Keanu Newton going to be impact players? 2016, when they went to the Super Bowl. Were they impact players against that, I think, when they brought the draft? Hell
yes.
No.
Oh, you talking about when we drafted them? No. You talking about when we drafted them or after the 2016 season?
I knew. Yeah, when we brought Deion, during that season, when we brought those four rookies started, like, what the hell is the Falcons doing? They ain't gonna be nothing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For everybody to start.
Right, yeah.
But
no, we didn't think they was gonna be impact players. No,
young guy.
Right.
Think about this. Grady Jarrett was in his second year. So was Big Beasley. They was in their second year. They did have a veteran on the team that was, a solid pass rush. Well, he was a little older, but he was solid. And they had a D line that was kind of solid. It can work.
Yeah, and
I think they're trying to relive that.
That's what I was just saying. I was like, we still got a Brandon Trice. We still got a Root where, like, somebody that's like Morgan Fox, he's an interior lineman. He's like a Grady Jarrett replacement, but then Rook is right there too as the young guy, as another rotational piece that he's learning behind somebody that's already been in the game. And then you got somebody like they're all complementary players, and then like somebody alluded to in the comments that they're all role players. They brought in a whole bunch of role players. Tabro said it. They brought in a whole bunch of role players to a point where everybody's going to be leaning on. I mean, you got to trust the man next to you, pretty much at that point. Trust the man next to you, and then also, how I was talking about the coaching. Sometimes I just felt like we was coaches away. I didn't feel like we was players away. We was coaches away. I'm gonna go back up to this comment because I like this comment. That D. Coleman said. D. Coleman said, "This is our theme from last year. We was too late. Too late was the theme last year. We were too late to changing QBs, too late to changing kickers, too late to changing the coverages, too late to calling timeouts." How y'all?
Accurate.
I was like, I can't even disagree. I was like, man, you are correct. Like, that's crazy. And that's what it was. That's what it was. I was just like, wow. Yeah, it was like times where dudes could have just called the timeout. Times when you could have just took out the quarterback and allowed him to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Took out the kicker for shanking three kicks, and I'm looking like, bro, I'm like, what's going on? Hey man, it's hard out here in these streets, man. It's hard out here in these streets. But like I said, I honestly feel like I'm not upset or blown away by any of the choices that they're picking. I would have thought we would have picked up Reed from the Jets, where Hubert came from, the defensive coordinator came from. They had a free agency, but then I also
all about this though.
That's what I'm about to say. I also they all about that cheese, and they thinking like, hey, and I said this: if I can get Grady Jarrett's production from three people, then just having one person, I'm letting go of that one person to get three people. And I think that's what it was. Like, hey, we don't want to pay this one guy when we still got other pieces still there. We can get more bodies, because sometimes it's about personnel and not by person. It's about personnel and not just by the person. And I feel like strategically thinking like, okay, we can draft a couple of people in the back end. We can get our number one guy. And I seen a couple of y'all mock drafts too. I seen a couple of mock drafts. That was pretty interesting. Would they pull the trigger on giving up Kyle Pitts? Well, wait, time out. I talked about this at the beginning of my show. I talked about this at the beginning of my show, and before I continue, I took a walk down memory lane. You remember when we had a conversation about this guy Felipe Franks and Blackberry blew up? Guess who's back on the team?
Welcome back, Felipe.
Guess who's back on the team? I had to talk about it. I said, why didn't nobody tell me Felipe Franks is back? I said, where is Blackberry at when you need him? Because
I wouldn't say I blew up. What I say is I just got a little irritated. I mean, because I sat back for weeks and let that coach and Big Ant them and just try to hype up Felipe so damn much, and I was just like, man, what the hell is y'all talking about?
and then a day later they cut him. They cut him off.
And they caught him the same damn week. They cut his ass.
I was like,
but I think they brought him back, put him on the practice squad. They put him back on the practice squad.
Well, at least they bring.
What would be his? What he's gonna be a blocking?
He's gonna be your gunner.
No, gunner. No. I'm not gonna put him out there to gunner so he can trip over his own feet.
No.
Hey,
I'll put him out there to run. I'll put him out there to run down the middle. I ain't gonna put him out there no gunner. Not no gunner, coach. Come on now.
That pass a lot of time don't count though.
Up the middle, man. He's the middle gunner.
Okay. You say gunner up the middle. That's what you want to call the people that run down the middle of the field. The middle gunners.
He's gonna be an up man. He's gonna be saying left, right.
Man, heck no. Come on. Don't be trying to get a rise out of it. That's what that is. Shout out to Felipe Franks, man. Like I said, the work ethic must be awesome.
I'm telling you.
But y'all think about it. He could be a scout team quarterback.
Could be. He is a quarterback too. Yeah.
I was more prone on him being the quarterback than I was him being a tight end because I don't know what his hands was at. He didn't have no hands.
He's 6'7".
But he ain't had no hands.
Throw that shit up to him in the back of the end zone. And if he don't catch it, he just don't catch it. But at least then nobody else catch it.
Hey.
So you saying he's gonna be like a red zone target?
Hey, man, he caught 2 passes on us last game of the season.
Man, they weren't trying.
Oh, he sure did. Yeah.
They weren't trying to play no more, man. They knew that our season was over with. They ain't even trying to play him. They like, Felipe, what's up, man? You got you 2 grabs, my guy. Handshaking and patting him on his helmet, man.
Hey, think about this. Who's better, him or Levine?
Tololo. I know you're gonna go to Tololo.
Him or Levine Tololo?
Tololo used to.
Levine Tololo.
He used to piss me out. Dude, he'll be in a huddle. He'll be like the biggest Andre the Giant out there and be like the laziest, sorriest.
I like Levine Tololo. I like Tololo.
Levine Tololo can block though.
Yeah, he can block.
Yeah, I mean, when our tackle went down, Levine Tololo came in and finished the game at tackle.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
He might as well.
And he was a Madden cheat code because you can lob it up to him inside the 5 and he's going to catch it. Oh, Madden. Every time, just lob it up there, he's going to catch it.
Did he score a touchdown in the Super Bowl, though? Yeah, he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, he did.
In the Super Bowl?
He's always in history.
Yeah.
Nah, that was that wasn't Toy Lolo. That was what's his name? That was Austin Hooper.
What is it?
Austin Hoopers.
Austin Hooper called it. That was Austin Hooper at his school.
So he had a lot of catches. He had a lot of touchdowns that year. He had like 3 touchdowns that year.
He said Mike Green on edge if he there at 15.
I need to check myself.
Why we drafting an edge rusher for when we have an edge rusher that we already drafted last year that we haven't even put in circulation?
Because he won a round pick.
The press conference today?
That's why. I didn't hear it today.
Did y'all hear the press conference today?
Nah, what are you talking about?
Nope.
Leonard Floyd said, he said, how do you feel the he said, how would you feel if the Falcons drafted a edge rush in the first round? He said the more the merrier. He said because the more you can rush them, the higher the damn D-line, their offensive line gonna get. So it make it easier for everybody else.
Because they're gonna be rotational pieces, I guess, right?
He said that's how they got to the Super Bowl because they had so many edge rushers.
Exactly. When you for some reason, people think if you go get a guy that's a double-digit sack guy in the free agency or you trade for him, that means the rest of the team ain't. The rest of the pass rushers ain't doing. Then they just watching him get out. Said no. I mean, if you think back to the Patrick Kearney days, Brady Smith was keeping up with Patrick Kearney in the sack department.
Yes, he was.
Oh yeah, almost.
He was keeping up with him. Same thing with Chuck Smith. They was keeping up with Patrick Kearney in the sack department.
You know why?
So why?
Because they was complimentary players. Like they was complimentary role players.
That's right.
That's what we getting. Complimentary role.
We all compliment each other.
Yeah, complimentary role players. That's it. It's like because you need not only do you need the offensive line to galvanize, you need the defensive line to galvanize, the DBs to galvanize, you need the pressure. Every cog on the machine needs to turn to make the machine work. So I don't doubt that. And then I want to go to this right here. Big Will, he said he's not trading Kyle Pitts. He's under the 5-year, 5th-year option, pretty much with a consistent quarterback. And he said them boys been working. I honestly believe with this right here, I think we finna have a stupid offense that to a point where it's gonna put less stress on our defense. Yep. I think that's how we're gonna be.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's how you can pin his back.
Yeah,
put up
points, and then it makes it easier for the defense because they might have to get out of their game plan to account. Their offense had to get out of their game plan to account for us scoring, so they have to change certain things. And then our defense, we got complementary role players. They're going to be able to attack, like you said, pin their ears back and do what they need to do. But I honestly believe that's why I feel like, bro, at 15 we're gonna get a wide receiver, bro. I just feel like we're gonna get a wide receiver at 15. Bro. Because if you think about it, like I'm gonna say this: if there's so many edge rushers in this round, I don't feel like we should be running up to get the best edge rusher when there's so many. And if we need complimentary people, for me,
well, this the only issue I see in your theory with receiver at 15.
Mm-hmm.
McMillan is by far the best receiver in the draft. And the drop off after him is so tremendous that you could get him the next best. In my opinion, everybody after him that's in the top 5 in receivers in this draft class is him. And then at number 1, and then it's a tie at 2, all the way down to like the damn 10th damn receiver. That's in my opinion. A lot of people say I'm crazy as hell, but I just feel like McMillan got red zone game changing ability because he's a monster in the red zone. That's what Coach was talking about. But everybody else, you could get Nick Nash in the 6th round, in the 7th round. You not he ain't go. I'm tripping. I'm thinking about somebody else. You can get Nick Nash in the 4th. You can get Nick Nash in the 4th round, and that's a burner. He's a burner. So it's if you're not getting McMillan in the 1st round, ain't no goddamn way you get a receiver in the 1st round, in my opinion.
So the best option is to take the best player on the court in said position. Any position that's like if it's like a need that we have, and then like you said, I don't see anything other than an edge rush, but I'm hoping I'm looking at it like we're gonna have because I'm looking at what we have on offense. You know what I'm saying?
What about the defensive interior line? What about defensive tackle? They still have we lost Grady Jarrett,
mm-hmm.
and it's still a really good chance. Even though I think if David Onyemata was gonna be gone, he'll be gone already. But I really feel like, but it's a chance he ain't gonna be here. So they still ain't shored up the interior defense. So why do everybody keep overlooking the possibility of them drafting a defensive tackle in the first round? Everybody just completely go around it. But I've been telling y'all that doggone boy out of Oregon, he gonna slap somebody taste. He gonna slap the taste out of every guard mouth, every center mouth. Every time he gonna be slapping folks, man. He gonna be slapping the taste out of folks. That boy got that Reggie White slapper whole ability. I'm telling you, if we get him, he is the impact you need in the middle, so that AK and them boys can do their thing.
He will push the pocket.
He's strong. Him strong with a W. Him strong.
He's strong. He's strong, man. That man's strong.
Him strong.
This all one word. Him strong. What he on? Just one word. Him strong. Yeah, I see that.
He's such a short guy.
So they can see.
He's strong though. Yeah, he has a very low center of gravity, so it's gonna hard to get. It's gonna be hard for those 6'5", 6'6" guys to get under. But he's gonna be all the push.
I understand. At 15, yeah, I think I'm hoping for a wide receiver, but logically,
Coach, who you saying short? I just heard what you said. My bad. Ty.
Swan guy. Swan.
Who is?
And he's 6'1". Which one is 6? One of those guys is 6'1" from Oregon.
Nah, you think about David Walker.
No. I'm talking about the big guy.
Derek Harmon 6'5".
Is he 6'5"? What's the other one?
Yeah.
Next to him? He's 6'1".
Caldwell.
Yeah. The other big
I
guy.
think Caldwell about 6. Caldwell about 6'3", 6'4".
Somebody 6. I think he's 6'1". One of these guys are short. That's all I know. I got to see which one it is. I'm looking at their stats. Their name.
What y'all think about?
Yeah, what's called 6'5", 310. Derek Harmon.
Okay, that's not bad. Hey,
But he is naturally strong.
he's strong. What y'all think about us getting Morgan Fox, 30-year-old guy, play with the
good pickup. He's for me. Listen, what Raheem has done. Raheem has gotten those two guys who was traded who from that Super Bowl team. He got Leonard Floyd and he got Derek Fox.
Yep, on the line.
So, on the line.
On the line. They just need it because they had Aaron Donald. So you get somebody that
they had Aaron Donald.
So you get somebody that can push the pocket like an Aaron Donald, like y'all talked about, and then those guys gonna eat because they're gonna be complementary to the person who's like, hopefully, like you gotta get a plug and play person. Period. Like,
whoever first round will be a plug and play no matter who the hell that is.
Right, so if I'm thinking if I go edge at 15, it's gonna have to be the best damn edge at 15 to a point. He's getting plug and play, and he's gonna be like you said. If you get the guy who's pushing the pocket, like you're talking about, then you got those other guys that are complementary on each side, the edge and the interior line. Like that I do that. So it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of funny that we're talking about D lineman, but nobody's talking about Walter Nolan, which is very strange for me.
I think because I think Walter Nolan gonna go in the top 10, and unless we moving up the top 10, that's the only way we gonna get him.
Yeah, he's early. To me, this is just me personally. I think he's the best 3 tech out there for sure. He reminds me so much. They gave him the comparison to my boy to AD. He plays just like he is that strong like that. He bench press people. He's 275.
Aaron Donald. They compare him to Aaron Donald.
Yeah, they compare him to Aaron. That's it. That's his. Go watch his tape. I want you to just go watch his tape. He is so disrupted. Yeah, go watch his tape. He's the best
he
out
is.
there.
Yeah, he was one. He was actually the first one I watched when I started watching all the different groups. And I agree with you. I don't know, man. It's something about that Derek Harmon. He nasty with it. He just nasty with it, man. The ability to be able to slap somebody out his way. Yeah.
You
can't.
Reading him.
Look, last time we seen that with Reggie White. When that
forklift. Yeah, that forklift. Yeah, he has that forklift.
Yeah.
Reggie White from the Packers.
When you got the ability the Eagles when you got the ability to slap somebody out your way, well, slap. That's Reggie White, bro.
Still on the defense. I see.
Just slap a man out your way. A full-grown 300-some pound man. Just slap him out your way, too.
Yeah, I remember when I met Reggie White when I was in and it was a long time ago. I remember he came to our school when I was in elementary. I didn't even know who he was. They was like,
mine too.
Reggie White. I was like, okay. I was like, what you mean? Hey. I'm looking for Atlanta Falcons jersey. So I'm like, what y'all talking about?
Yeah.
But he was Packers jersey, 92. He was in that. Helping y'all read. What'd you say, Coach?
Help y'all read.
Yeah, he was helping.
No, I think that's the same. That's the same thing he was at my school for.
I'm telling you, he came out.
He was reading books.
Books. No, I'm telling you.
That's the same reason he was at my school. Yeah.
He was getting that check, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
APS was paying people to read to y'all.
I'm telling you, man. He was reading the book to us, man.
Probably had
a little lamb or something.
This is Blackberry. This is your man's his scouting report. They say he has thunderous hands that enable him to consistently win the leverage battle at the point of attack. They say his upper body strength is so damn strong. It's a nightmare for center that's trying to reach block him and guard
Walter Nolan.
Drive block. No, your boy. Harmon.
Oh, Derek Harmon.
Yeah, they say he has a devastating rip move about the length of his arm. He's definitely a three down player. So,
boy, devastating is the word for it.
He come and said we need a big fat nasty. I'm like,
hold on. They say he had a nasty bull rush that collapsed pocket from the interior display took a well against Washington. He just said, "Yeah, this kid, he's a bad man. You can't reach block because he's too fast. He's too strong."
Did we sign Nuzzle back? And the center.
Nuzzle is on the team. Y'all, okay? People don't realize he's on the team. He's tender.
Yeah, he's on. Yeah,
he's on the team. He just the tender. He has that tender thing, right? The Falcons, if nobody signed him, the Falcons got to pay him that money. That whatever hell what that tender money is. See what the Falcons do? They try to get somebody to pick him up so they can get that another pick.
Right, because it was him and D Alpha and somebody else, and they chose to let them. Yeah.
No, they didn't tender D. They just tender losing. They didn't tender D. They was.
No, I'm saying, but they was unrestricted free agent. I mean, they was restricted free agents.
Right. They'll get some next year for him, but this year, if you sign Newsom, because the Falcons kind of already signed him, he's the one who they only tendered him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that was tendered.
Let's see what we got. I do have a question here. I'm gonna bring it up.
He's at Derek Harmon. You could jump in the. Oh my Lord, that's nasty.
They Timothy Davidson asked who would be better, the nickel starter, Clark Phillips or Natron Brooks?
Clark Phillips.
Phillips.
Can you tell him why?
He has the want to. He has that want to. And because of his size, people always underestimated. So he's out to prove something. He has something to prove. So
that's the best way to put it. The way Coach put it, you got to want to. You got it. And if you would have been playing him more at the inside, in the slot as a defensive back, he probably shows you more at the position if you put him inside more. We had him outside too much, in my opinion. He did his best work in Utah was when he was able to attack the ball. That's when he did his best work.
And that's not, yeah.
I ain't a big fan of Natron Brooks anyway. I think that boy he gonna have a early exit out the league.
I actually like
it. I gotta look at some more tape.
I just think he needed an opportunity. Like a lot of players.
I think next show I'll start doing my prospects and looking at that. I wanted to go closer to the draft before I really start prospecting and mock drafting and stuff like that. But I see what y'all doing. I see it. I'm one of those type of people. He said, D. Coleman said Derek Harmon equals John Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
What you think? That's what he is.
Just big and nasty.
Big, fat, nasty.
Just big and nasty with it, man.
Yeah, this dude his cut though. Well, he ain't cut like he's no yeah. But he's one of those guys that's sick. What's called? He ain't got that. He's like Calais Campbell's body type.
Yeah.
Just big, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a naturally big dude.
Okay.
He one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
I met Calais Campbell, and I stood next to him. I'm almost 6 feet. This dude said,
he stood up.
He said he looked down. He said, "You want an autograph?" I was about to say, "Hell no, man. No. You want me to sign your football? No, man. Get out of here." I said, "Here, man, take that." I had somebody else hand it.
You too big.
Yeah, I had somebody else hand him that football, man. I ain't finna let that man. He want to take a picture too. I'm like, "God damn, man." They had to stand back when he was standing there like this. I'm like, "Get your big ass out of here, bro." That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, don't got. Hey, man, I stood next to. I stood next to some of them football players, man. These guys like Graham, Tayshaun Graham, and all them, man. These dudes don't look. They don't look like they on from far away. They look like the average guy. When you up next to these dudes are some big guys.
They big, man.
Yeah, these dudes are. I'm looking like I'm taking pictures. I'm like, damn, bro. You're making me feel like I'm small, bro.
You all know something. You all know something, Ty? It's funny you say that because I had a surreal moment when the first time I went to an open practice at the stadium and one of the meet and greet practices.
Right.
And see, when I played, I was like the size I am now, but it looked different. It didn't look like this. So yeah, it looked different. So I always felt like a small defensive guy. I always felt that way. But when I was at the damn practice and the guy coming over to the gate, he comes to the sideline, and I'm looking, I'm like, damn, y'all ain't that much bigger than me. I can get out here and do what y'all doing. What y'all doing?
Right.
But it's different when they start moving around. That's when you really see the
that speed, man.
That speed, man. Even the big boys, it's just different. It's just different at that level.
Yeah. It be like that. It be like that. Shoot. Let's see what let's see what else.
We may next time. How big the players are.
I'm gonna put this in here. Do you think with these budget buys, do y'all feel like we loading up to do something miraculous in the draft?
Somebody still got to get cut.
Who do you feel like is coming Besides Kirk Cousins, we ain't gonna talk about that. Besides Kirk Cousins, who do you see us letting go to make room for players so we can make sense of this? Who do you
let go?
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you two.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna put them right there. I got my salary cap right here. I'm cutting them for the next day. For one, new kicker. We're gonna bring in for the league minimum. That'll get us like $2 million back.
Okay.
But I think Pooh is making this year $5.5 million.
Okay.
So you cut him and get $3 million of that back. I still got a strange feeling on your mother may be gone. Strange feeling. Strange feeling.
You said it's strange. You said strange.
Now, I don't think the Falcons would do this. I really don't think they would do this. But I can see one, people may cuss me out, but I don't care. You do. I can see them restructuring Caleb. Or actually not restructuring, but extending Caleb and saving $10 million out of that. I can see that. Or I can see them cutting Caleb. Then you get a whole $14 million back. There's a lot of things to be done, man. There's a lot to be done.
You want to know what I see him doing?
What you saying, man?
Go ahead.
Pretty much everything Coach just said, and everything you said, Ty, before you started the questions about Kirk Cousins. Another way is if you make these cuts, or not cuts, but if you could move these guys, if you could trade for them, if you cut a couple, make some cuts. But if you can get some trades for some picks, for draft picks, that helps you save money too.
Yeah, you trade Kyle Pitts, you're saving $10 million.
You save $10 million. You say if you trade Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
But for the future, because everybody's gonna be worried about, okay, but what about when it's time to pay Drake? What about when it's time to pay Bijan? What about when it's time to pay this guy and that guy? Michael Penix, what about in a couple of years when his agent gonna be looking for his extension? Well, if you don't have first round picks in 2026, if you don't have a first round pick in 2027, if you don't got second round picks, you say you don't have to worry about paying the draft class that much money.
Right.
So why? So here's a crazy idea.
You got to spend now, though.
You got to do it. You got to do it now. You got to do it now. This what Ty. This what me, Coach, and Big Ant was talking about over the weekend. This is what the idea that I sprinkled out there some while ago. Go for the gusto now. So if you're not worried about money in paying the draft class in a couple seasons, then you ain't too much worried about these contracts coming up because you ain't got to pay a whole lot of money to the draft classes. It's a whole lot cheaper to pay a third rounder and a fourth rounder and a fifth rounder. It's a whole lot cheaper to pay them when you got contracts up that need to get paid and figure out who you gonna let go and who you gonna keep, who you gonna put on the trade block and who you not. One thing you won't have to worry about is paying the draft class too much money. So why not go for the gusto now? Okay. Make it easy for Tennessee. Make it easy for them. Like, hey, yeah, we want the number one pick, but we're gonna give you our first round of next year or 2027. You can tell Cleveland the same thing. You can who after Cleveland? The Giants.
You ain't gonna get it from the Giants. They ain't gonna try shit.
But I'm just saying,
You ain't gonna get nothing from the Giants.
I mean, you might be able to get their pick, but if you let them know, like, hey, you ask me what I'm willing to do for the pick, I'm telling you what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to sacrifice my team's 2026 draft, basically, so that you can have the draft you want now and tomorrow, and I can just have the draft I want now.
Right. Right.
That sounds crazy to a lot of folks. That sound like trading your future away for your present. How? How? Do you know it's so many things that can happen? See, we think like this because we nervous about parting ways with personnel.
Because they be married to people and not understanding the business. And
Not me.
yeah, they be married to people, man.
Right. Like you can't
program. The program. Go ahead, brother. My bad.
No, I'm saying you're right. I mean, because
Be there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
If you got an issue with moving on from personnel, that's the only reason why you feel the way you feel about what I'm saying. Because you know that in a couple seasons, you probably not going to have an AJ Terrell. In a couple seasons, you probably not going to have a Jesse Bates. In a couple seasons, you probably not going to have a Tyler Algier or a Kyle Pitts. You might not have a Drake London.
What's happening?
Because if you do what I'm saying right now, then what you're doing is saying that what your team is doing is saying that they trust their process enough that when it works, like how they think it's gonna work, which is with gold, which is with a trophy, which is with a parade. If it's gonna end in that in a couple to at the most 3 seasons, if it's gonna end in that in a few seasons, they gonna rinse and repeat that motherfucker and do it all over again. Which means a lot of your favorite players ain't gonna be here in 3 to 5 years. They ain't gonna be here.
Don't be
Because
Drake London though.
See, see.
And don't get rid of Drake. Nah, not that one.
But I'm just saying. I'm not saying him. I'm just saying. I'm just using the name as an example.
If he drop off, get rid of his ass. But right now, man, that's my guy.
Yeah, of course you got to keep core guys.
Yeah, definitely that.
I think they'll do Drake probably maybe this year, but they may put Drake on the 50 option and sign him before that trade.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because they didn't know what that salary cap money's at. Because the salary cap's going up every year, man. Especially with the streaming service that they calculate the money into. Because before the NFL was just getting paid from all these streaming services, and weren't getting the players nothing. They said, we got to put this into the what's go. So now they're putting that money from the streaming service, which is the 1,000 of them out there, into that salary cap. So that's why it went up so much this year. And I think it'll probably go up more next year because they have better numbers.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good chance it's gonna be over $300 million in 2026. It's a good chance.
Easy.
The 23 million jump, like you said, Cole, that's the highest that it's ever done jump.
All right. We got Q&A.
Too many teams are losing too many players.
Yeah, because of money. They can't afford to pay them. They can't afford to pay them, man. So some people, they got to let walk.
And that's why Cincinnati is banking on that salary cap get higher.
Well, I sure didn't think T. Higgins was gone. I thought T. Higgins was gone, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I ain't mad at him. I would have stayed.
what's some good homework?
But you know you're gonna get your grand.
What'd you say, Blackberry?
I think I'm gonna do some homework. I'm gonna give myself some homework. I want to see that last contract that Marvin Harrison got when Reggie Wayne was drafted to Indianapolis. Because before Marvin Harrison, that last Marvin Harrison's last contract before he retired, but well maybe it wasn't the one before he left Indianapolis, but the one he did after Reggie Wayne was drafted.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay.
Because I want to say I remember Marvin Harrison signing an extension, and like a couple years later, Reggie Wayne got paid.
Okay, that's junior. Let's see.
All right, I got a question right here. We're doing Q&A right now. What do y'all think will be picked, or who do y'all think, or what do you think will be picked in the second round, center or QB? Or QB?
Neither one.
Probably neither one.
In the second round, man, I still think
I don't see it.
I see a line.
Linebacker go second round.
Yeah, linebackers.
They're gonna
solidify
that linebacker room. Because
yeah.
For some reason, yeah.
He said D. Coleman said he remembered correctly the last odd out had to have been Edge. You had Peyton, Reggie, Marvin, Mathis, Freeney on the D getting the big money.
They was all getting big money.
Because they was all producing. It was all producing. All producing. I mean, you
said in 2004, Marvin Harrison signed a $67 million contract extension. That was 2004.
That was 2004, y'all.
67 million.
67.8.
Was it the highest at that time?
How many years did that for, though? He was high. His career earnings from the NFL contract over 13 years. But that $67 million, like I said, was only guaranteed $30 million, right?
Right.
His total earnings in the NFL from 96 to 2008 was just a little bit under 67 total. So that means that first contract he had wasn't that much.
Yeah, that first contract was, it was boo boo. Well, not then it wasn't. It wasn't considered then. But the $67 million extension, I'm pretty sure the coverage on that back then was that was groundbreaking. That Marvin Harrison got a $67 million extension at receiver.
What's happening, Dirty?
I got all his money right here. His first year in '96, he made $2.5 million. His second year, he made $637. That's what the signing bonus and everything that came in. Then his fifth year option was $11 million. Then he had another small check in 2001. Then he had $3 million, $4.5 million, another 10.5, $8 million, $12 million, $4 million, and 7.6 equals almost $67 million total in those 96 to 2008. So he made some change.
He said,
he probably made about 40 million.
Yeah. And how about Reggie Wayne got paid? Because what they did, like how many seasons did they do with Marvin and Reggie?
Probably about 4. Let me see.
Y'all got to excuse my truck. I got to change my dryer out on the truck.
I ain't sneezing over
You got it. Excuse. Oh my bad. I'm gonna mute myself until I get moving. I'm gonna mute myself. Yeah, ready. I got a change to dry out because I didn't do this, but my uncle, I'm just gonna put him out there and just throw him under the bus. He don't like drain his air tank, so his damn dryer got screwed up on this truck. So I gotta, because I'm buying this truck from him now. I got to fix. Well, actually, now he said he gonna fix it, so I ain't too mad at him. But it's loud. My bad. I'm gonna mute myself.
He didn't really make. He didn't really make that much money though. I thought he did. But he did.
How much was that first car? No, not the first one. How much was the extension?
His first. That extension, 39.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he starts out in 3 years, and he didn't get paid. He made about he made about the same thing Marvin made from 2001 to 2015. So yeah, he did okay.
He said, "Who was better, than Harrison or Wayne?" Wayne was consistent, bro. He was just Mr. Consistent, bro.
Who was better, Marvin? Yeah. Yes, so was Marvin. You couldn't stop his ass.
Yeah, I don't know. Man, he was just like he was just one of them ones that, bro, when you needed somebody to go ahead and complete something, bro, he was there. But you needed a touchdown.
Yeah, Grady was consistent. Grady had that speed though.
Yeah. Yeah, Harrison had that TD. I think he had more TDs if I'm not mistaken. I think he was just, I don't know, but both of them were kind of.
You said who had more touchdowns?
I think Harrison had more. No. No, Reggie Wayne, he was just. Dang, bro, I don't know, man. They were both of them were consistent, bro. Both of them. They had a team too, boy. Jesus. Damn.
Yeah, but the point is, while Marvin Harrison was still on the team.
Oh, you still had that guy who was still making that.
Right. Reggie got an extension. Now, it didn't happen simultaneously at the same time, like how it did in Cincinnati.
Oh, Lord.
It didn't happen like that. But the point is, they paid both of their receivers. And Marvin Harris, right. And they went on to win. Yeah. They went on to win some jury.
But ask yourself this though.
Well, Harrison had 120 touchdowns. Reggie had 82.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I thought so. I thought Harrison had more. But the thing is understand it. Like, who are there any dogs out there like that? Like them two, like that 1-2 punch they were? Do you see any? Who we have to get?
We'll see.
Like is a T. Higgins and old boy Chase? Or are they like that? Are they really getting to it like that? Who's really getting to it like that? Yeah. These guys don't play like the old school guys did, bro.
Well, you got to think about also about that team. They ain't got no run game.
Yeah, that too. So you ain't got no choice. But you remember the Chargers behind?
They have no run game in Cincinnati.
The Chargers used to pass. Phillip Rivers had the Chargers on that speedy offense. They barely had a run game, but they was passing. They was in shotgun formation every down.
They had a decent run game when LT was there.
Man, no disrespect to little Damien, man. I ain't even gonna do him like that.
Who?
LT.
Tomlinson?
Yeah, I ain't gonna do him like that. I ain't gonna do him like that. He was good.
Man, LT was the man.
Oh. Not according to LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy felt like he was giving everybody that crazy work. He was tripping me out. That man
said, same boat that your boy was in today.
What's that?
Who that? Not Pac-Man. What's that boy name? Asante Sampson. Him and Dion. Yeah. Y'all didn't hear about that today?
Nah, I'm about to go back.
Oh my God. Y'all got to.
Yeah, y'all had Coach turn his mic off.
Him and Shannon Shep going at it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. LaShawn McCoy, he was one of those ones that they was like, hey man, you'll be doing all these shifting and driving and doing this and moving around. But they said, but you don't get no touchdowns. You just made you miss boom down. It's like, but you didn't really go nowhere. You made a couple of people miss, but you weren't really going up the field to get that TD.
He did the Kevin Ridley.
Oh man, don't do that. Don't do it like that.
He wasn't doing that.
Oh man, he was doing that. What's his name? Who y'all said he used to tiptoe through the hole? Who was that we had got? Who was that?
Davis.
Oh yeah. We were like, oh yeah, this dude, he's showing his legs and stuff. You see how big my legs is and stuff. Pause that.
That's all it was, leg.
This man,
wasn't no heart.
Who that? Who doing that? Who that?
That nigga was
Mike Davis.
Who doing that?
Yeah. Hey, that boy act like he was. Hey, look, Mike Davis was like the hamburgers in McDonald's, the burgers, tiptoeing everywhere.
Oh, Mike Davis. Oh,
he do all that moving around and don't go nowhere. I'm like, bro, go nowhere.
Tippy Toe Davis.
Use your legs, man. That's what they do big for.
Nah, he won't use his tippy toes.
You said you can see us drafting a linebacker because we're not bringing back Ellis. Yeah, next year. I don't know, man. Ellis was a tackling machine, bro.
If you don't bring back Ellis, you crazy as hell.
I'm about to say Ellis was that guy.
No, Ellis. I don't think they're gonna re-sign Ellis next year. That's his contract.
What
I don't see that.
What are you talking about? Next year? This coming up season. What season he talking about?
She was talking about next season.
Oh, he's on the team this year. He's fine. Yeah.
No, next season. Think we're gonna draft one to
next season
for next season. Yes.
Well, yeah. You already got. They may keep Troy. And tell Troy this you need to follow this guy everywhere he goes. You need to do what he does. And use Troy that same way.
It's imperative. And hear me when I say this. It's imperative that we stop using guys out of position.
Yeah.
It's imperative that we do that. Just because somebody shows versatility don't mean that you got to experiment with them from edge and put them in the middle. Just because somebody has versatility don't mean just because they did their best work in the slot, but you think they got the speed to work the outside, so you're going to put them on the outside. Let guys do what they best at. Let them do what they best at. We don't need to have another big Beasley situation in Atlanta. Let them do what they best at. If Kane Ellis is best at getting after the quarterback, then by God, let him get after the quarterback. Put him out there on second and third down and let him go out there and get it.
That's what he did in New Orleans. He was not a middle linebacker.
He was like that QB spot because we always get.
But Troy was a middle linebacker in college, though. That's the thing.
That's why he was so good at it. He did that. You know, you remember the Titans when he said, "Hey, come here, Pete. I need you to go after that safety to make sure I need you to play safety." He's like, "I ain't never played that." Like, hey man, just don't let him catch the ball. And he put him out. That's how it is. Some people they be good, they be athletic, and that's all you need. I just need you to do one job, CJ. I just need you to make sure he don't get past that line. Can you do that for me? Yep. Go ahead and go do it. And then that make sure, because sometimes, like I said, it's coaching, man. It's coaching. If they coached up right, man.
Sometimes players got to have heart too.
Players
got to have heart too. No. Sometimes
you don't think a Trey Anderson got heart though?
Think about this. Think about this though. I'm gonna put it another way. Players, once they get paid, think about this. Their mind goes different, bro. I hate to say it. Some guys have that, I'm gonna give it all. They can talk a good game. Some of these guys be making business decisions. I ain't gonna lie. You can see it.
Jarrett.
It's out there. Business like, no, I'm just talking about. I ain't gonna get my bills wrong. I ain't gonna get no concussion. These guys be thinking about this shit.
Oh yeah, I believe it. You'll see how.
So,
look at how Kyle Pitts go down when he finna get time. He just dropped. He did Calvin Ridley just.
That's what you're
just
supposed to do, though. What you supposed to do?
I'm down. I'm down. I just take a knee. I'm down, bro.
Live to another.
Hey, at least I live to fight another day.
I don't think I done seen Kyle Pitts fight for extra yards.
Yeah.
I just thought with Kyle Pitts, people got to stop making their excuses for him. They got to stop it. I don't get, if you put a child out in the woods, you done raised them to hunt, you done raised them to fish. If you done raised them to do that, and you put them out there in the woods, you expect when you come back to him that he's gonna have squirrel, rabbit, possum, raccoon, fish. He gonna be done built a little teepee, a little hut. He done gonna be done made him a fire pit. He gonna be done got out there and did what the fuck he need to do to survive. You expect for him to do that because you've trained him to do so. So we gotta stop pretending like Kyle Pitts ain't expected to be great. And when you have that expectation, you got to go be great, or you're going to get criticized for not being so great. If you're supposed to be great but you're average, you're going to get criticized for being average. That's just how it is. I'm not going to keep giving them excuses. Well, he clears it out for the other guy. Guess what?
He's a decoy.
That's what everybody they run a 9 up the middle of the field is being used as a clear out. Everybody.
But all right, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying on that part. To a degree, I agree with you. However, the media made it that way. We don't know these guys. We don't know what to expect from these guys when they come out of college. You see one thing in college, you expect that to happen anyway. It don't happen all the time. I understand he was drafted early. Yeah, he was drafted number 4. True indeed. But the system with terrible quarterbacks ain't getting you the ball. Is that his fault? You can't be great if you can't get the ball to you.
Now, I will admit, Kirk Cousins has overlooked that dude a whole lot.
Oh, yeah, man. He only saw one route.
I can admit that.
There's them overthrowing him.
He didn't just overlook Kyle Pitts. He overlooked Bijan a lot on checkdowns. He overlooked Tyler Algier a lot on checkdowns.
Right. He was looking at Mooney and Drake. That's on people he had his focus on. Those two guys.
But if I can recollect,
if you notice those last 2 games, go ahead.
No, you're right. Michael Penix was targeting him more. He was getting more targets from Kirk before he got caught slipping by Kirk on a couple passes.
Kristen Lewis said, "Don't let Blackberry fool us. He's from the country."
Why? Because I'm talking. I'm saying things like recollect.
Nah.
From what I can ascertain,
you're figuring it out.
I reckon.
No, but seriously though, man, it's like, listen, man. If I can remember the times when you drop passes, if I can remember the times when you got caught slipping, lollygagging in a route, that's nobody's fault but yours. If we can remember you fumbling a ball into the defense hands, we can't. That's your fault. That's not Kirk Cousins' fault. That's not Michael Penix's fault. That's not Zach Robinson's fault. That's on Kyle Pitts. The difference between him and Tony Gonzalez is that I can't remember a time when Tony Gonzalez got caught slipping. That don't mean he didn't. It's the fact that you don't remember it happening.
You're too consistent.
He was too consistent. Boy, hey, that's the word of the damn day. Consistency.
You remember? Hold on. You remember when Michael Jordan finally missed a dunk? When
No.
Michael, you remember? I remember when Michael Jordan missed his first dunk. But after that,
in Space Jam, was it in Space Jam?
No, he missed a dunk. He missed a dunk in a game for. It was like he missed a dunk, and everybody was like, "Oh."
I remember Michael Jordan missing several dunks and won a slam dunk contest. Still, that's another story.
That should have been Dominic, man. That should have been him, man.
I'm just saying. I ain't gonna mention it.
They should have gave me that, man. Go ahead, Ty, my bad.
Chicago. It was in Chicago.
Yeah, I about to say, wasn't it in Chicago? But yeah. It was his time, man. Don't talk about MJ, bro.
It was in Chicago, yeah.
We know who to go there. But at the end of the day, bro, I feel like you just said, like if a person has to have heart, I don't think Kyle Pitts plays with heart. And I take this up with the fact that if we're not creating a sustainable winning product, nobody's gonna play with heart. They're gonna play for this right here. They're gonna be playing for that money, regardless of what. Because they're gonna be like, man, I mean, we ain't gonna win, so I might well get paid.
That's players in general.
And that's players in general. So the ideal is to bring that championship, that Super Bowl to the organization. And I honestly believe we do it with, players that we train up to do what you need to do. But I also understand that coaches need to be the ones that
bring your own people.
Yeah, find your people that that's on, like somebody said in the chat, like Fuller, Lloyd, and Fox came from Rams, and they all came from the Rams. They all was up on the Raheem Morris. He probably reached out to them, hey man, I see you're a free agent, man. Come down here and play for me. And they probably like, all right, no problem. Because when you get your own people in there, and they fit your system and they fit what you got going on. I mean, sometimes even people that want to prove it to themselves or prove they let me go. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, we don't know what these people are going to be. Nobody knows what they're going to be. God forbid, if, they go out there on the first play of the season or training camp. You hear it all the time. People get hurt. They out for the whole season. Like, hopefully none of our guys are like that. But, but at the end of the day, man, I just feel like in my heart of hearts that our team, and this is my opinion, I think we're better right now than we once was last year with our staffing. Even if we let the people go, even in the position that we in and all the people we brought in, we still got enough to do more than what we did last year. Do you agree or disagree?
Agree. I agree with that.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna wait and see.
Of course you are, Coach.
Of course.
Listen. Okay. We always got this expectation, right? What this team should have been. Mm-hmm. What does this team supposed to be? We looking at paper. We looking at what's on paper. Falcons ain't showed you anything. The Falcons haven't showed you that they can be consistent winning. Never. So we got all this high expectation because the media says this, the media says that, and we see what's on paper. We see the players that we got.
Did y'all know this?
Everybody that making NFL is supposed to be able to do something, right? Supposedly, right?
Supposedly, everybody's supposed to be professionals. Yes.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah. Lost his baby mama last season.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So that probably played upon his whole mindset.
I didn't know that either.
He lost his baby mama.
Listen, if he lost his baby, did she pass away? Lost her like she passed away?
Oh, he going to Magic City now. He's all good, BlackBerry. I don't know if that's a joke or is that the truth. Like, is that fake news?
Wait a minute, now. Y'all don't put stuff in the doggone chat like that ain't true. Now that ain't don't do shit like that.
Okay.
He said, oh, that no. See, I don't know. We got to look that up. I ain't heard of that.
I'm looking it up now. You know I'm gonna look it up. Don't tell me no shit like that.
Oh, they broke up. They split up.
You can find more of those.
I mean,
I'm telling you, in Atlanta. You
ain't got nothing to worry about that.
You want a baby mama? You can go stand on the corner of damn Lindbergh
just had a baby last year.
Hey man, she want that chick. Grande said, "We waiting to see, Coach. How many games you got to see? How many times? How long? How many games it's gonna take for you to see the eye test before you be like, all right, we got something here." He said a whole bunch. He said at the end of the season,
all right, this is my thing. I want to see what they're gonna assemble. I want to see how training camp goes. You know, because they're gonna be open this year, so you have more. You have eyes. See, last year I gotta think about this. Last year, nobody something to help this team. This team could have been looking like boo boo out there. Nobody knew because
we couldn't last year. Yeah, it was closed off. Are they gonna open it up this year?
It was closed.
I ain't show nothing.
What about this? What about this training camp? Are they gonna open it up?
Yes. The facility should be done right now. So what I'm saying is, they could have been looking like boo boo out there. But you know what the media says, and so on and so on. We don't know.
Yeah, I remember the media being real frustrated.
We don't know.
Yeah, I remember the media being like in their feelings about that too. But you can hear that all they reports that.
Exactly. They had like 25 minutes to see warm-ups, and that's all they seen.
And they made sure they said that every time, like didn't get much from this report, but this is what we know.
I don't think D-Led said he was at practice. He was out there practicing. He was over there running around. That's all D-Led was sporting last year. So we're gonna see.
I got a question right here. A question is: if we don't make the playoffs, is Raheem Morris gone?
Probably not.
How many wins he get?
That's a good question. How many wins?
Like if we be like 11,
did he get 9? Did he get 9?
If he get 9, do he get 5?
I do think that he must. I don't think so.
I don't think he is.
My feeling, I think he needs to make at least win the division. I think he needs to win the division.
I'm like this. I don't know how you don't make the playoffs with the personnel group you're going to have, with the quarterback that you're going to have, with you got enough defensive prowess in the coaching staff now. Well, these guys should be coached up the right way. You should have the right game plan every week. I don't know how you don't make the playoffs. D. Coleman, are we better than Tampa? Yes. Yep. We swept them.
On paper.
We swept them. I mean, we swept those guys, and I think we got a better team. So, yes, they got their asses embarrassed in the playoffs. I still think we put on a better showing in the playoffs than they did if we would have had made it in with the rookie quarterback. You damn straight. The credit I give Bowles is that he's really good at keeping his team consistent. So when they get things clicking, they stay clicking.
Right.
ain't no undisciplined football. Ain't no we gonna do something different than what we done did all year long and hope that it works. Ain't none of that. This what we do. This what we good at. We sticking to it. We go to Mike Evans on third down in the red zone. We gonna keep going to him. We pin our ears back on first down, regardless of it being a run down or not. We gonna pin our ears back and try to get and tell our pass rush to go after the quarterback. That's what they do. They stick to it under Ty Bowles. They stick to what they're good at. That's why they stay consistent. It's when you try to get too goddamn, you try to get too cute with the shit.
Cute.
So when we're talking about culture and all that, about our football team, we ain't got to go outside the NFC South. And I know Atlanta Falcon fans, y'all don't want to hear this shit. But this coming from the home team. This coming from your boy Blackberry. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been the most consistent football team in the South. They don't change what they are. They don't change it. Ever. For nobody. For no reason.
Go to Mike Evans. Go to Mike.
We going to Mike Evans. Well, we got a young boy that can run it. We gonna give it to him. Defensively, we gonna be stout up front. That's who they are. They don't change that. That's our problem in Atlanta.
We keep changing stuff.
We got to stop changing up the goddamn sauce. Get a recipe. Get somebody to say, that's good, and keep doing it.
Young Ho cool. Oh my God. They asked a question was in the chat that are we keeping cool? Mucho asked, are we keeping
Hell
cool?
no. I hope that.
Cookie Monster?
I told him they should have cut him last year. Nobody believe me. He'll be all right. That's what they do. He'll be all right. No, he ain't. He's missing in preseason, bro. Nobody even charged the rest. I knew he was gonna have a problem. I knew it.
Yep. He missed 5 kicks the year before. Missed 5 kicks the year before that. And this year it got worse.
But he was missing in preseason.
Damn.
Should have been gone. University of Georgia got a hell of a cross-country program.
You made it. Who that? Should have been gone. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, D. Coleman said the chemistry in Tampa, they got it. You know what I'm saying? They keep adding complimentary players and rebuilding. They ain't retooling. They ain't really changing that. You don't see their team really. Like, that's why I was saying this myself. I was like, if Tampa Bay was going to get rid of Baker Mayfield, I was honestly saying we should get Baker Mayfield.
Well, you got to realize they had 2 decent offensive coordinators the last couple of years, too.
Hey.
Baker got there. So he was down that Baker. And Baker wasn't a bad quarterback in college.
No, he wasn't.
We may talk about him, and so on and so on, but Baker was actually a decent quarterback. He just needed the right system that was designed for him.
Browns won it.
Now they got a new offensive coordinator again. This is the 3rd offensive coordinator he's going to have in his 3 years in Tampa Bay.
Oh,
so because Liam Cohen, he went down to Jacksonville, and the other guy went to Carolina last year. So this is going to be his 3rd.
Speaking on Jacksonville too, before you say something, Cole.
3rd coordinator. So let's see how it works out this year.
What y'all feel about Agnew?
You're good.
Returner?
You're a good pickup.
I hope he can come back from that. You know that he had a leg injury last year, so let's just hope that works out for him. So,
I think he's a good pickup. I think that was a good pickup. That was a good signing.
He's also a complimentary wide receiver too.
Yeah, if he's healthy, you can use him for gimmick stuff like end rounds.
He is.
Yeah. So if he's healthy, he could be a good gimmick piece on offense. Probably have him out there for the kickoff return and ease him into the punt return stuff. Mm-hmm. If he gonna be the designated returner, I think you got to. If he coming off injury, because I didn't know that, but if he coming off injury, you want to ease him into the punt return stuff.
Right.
But definitely have him out there for kickoff.
It's gonna be interesting, man. I'm just right now. I'm in that. I'm not wait and see, but I'm kind of excited a little bit this year. I don't know why, but I feel a little bit.
I am too.
Last year, I feel a little bit more confident this year. I think, and then like I said, everybody talk about right. Yeah, right. He made a lot of mistakes. He did. He made some, but a lot of other coaches did too. So,
especially that first year.
But we can't blame it all. I guess you said it's his defense, but as a player myself, and you can say you probably say the same thing, Blackberry. I'm not gonna let my team look that bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna step up and do something to try to. Because there was no voice on this team to get in these guys' butts.
Nope.
Grady wasn't that leader.
Nope.
He's not that vocal leader. I don't think they had a vocal leader on that team.
I don't think we've had one.
Man, we can't be doing this.
Yeah. I don't think we've had in a long time. We haven't had a real vocal leader in a long time.
It's hard for somebody to be like, okay, that ain't good. So
yeah, all right, y'all. We don't reach the segment of the show where we finna say what we need to say, where we can find you at, and say peace out to the people, man. I didn't realize we was out here for almost 2 hours. That's crazy. But yeah, Coach, where they can find you at, man?
Hey, Coach Unchained on everything, man. I'm gonna do something Friday. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's gonna who's the greatest DB, greatest cornerback in NFL history.
Ooh.
Some people gonna be like, "It's
We know what everybody's gonna say."
I'm gonna tell you 2 people they're gonna say. You're either gonna be on the island or it's gonna be prime.
But if we're looking at just from visual, or we're looking at from stats,
you need to look at them stats. Because everybody don't know stats. They know. Everybody don't know stats.
That's why I'm gonna do it.
Everybody don't know stats.
That's why I'm looking at impact. I'm looking at impact. That's what I'm looking at. Impact. A little bit of stats, a whole lot of impact.
Now, the reason exactly, but the reason I said that is because of something I said it earlier about the Shannon Sharp and Asante Samuel type thing, right? It's based off that. But that I started this morning when I was on my break. I said, let me look at some stats. Let me look at what's called who's my top 10 DBs. And I was like, damn, I didn't know he's like that.
Oh, yo, Santi Sam.
People, I'm gonna look at. Yeah, some say yeah. He's okay. He's okay, but he's not a Hall of Famer.
What about that dude from Denver? Talib.
Champ Bailey.
Talib has some stats.
Talib. Talib.
Champ got stats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Talib was.
Talib got some stats too now. He got some stats that's better than a lot of people that are Hall of Famers too.
That's what I'm saying. I knew that's why I put my guy Talib in there.
What about Charles Tillman?
So, but yeah, I'm no, he just a puncher out. He ain't had the numbers. He had a lot of forced fumbles now.
That's what I'm talking about. Impact.
That is impact. Now, without getting away too much, something about Asante Samuel. playing in in New England.
New England.
He has some big moments now. He closed a lot of games out.
Shit.
When teams think they finna score, Asante took some balls away from people. Now
we talking corners, or are we including safeties in this, or just corners?
Corners.
Just corners.
Mostly corners, yeah.
Darren Woodson was a corner, right? Or was it Darren Woodson in the safety?
This corner. He was a safety. They tell about Rod Woodson and Charles Woodson. They both corners.
Yeah.
But Charles went to safety later on his career, but yeah.
Well, I was talking about Darren Woodson.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna talk about that. You talk about Darren Woodson. He was a safety.
Oh.
All right. Now, Blackberry, go ahead and give your salutations out, my G.
Go to my channel, The Home Team with Blackberry. That's Blackberry, no C, just the K. The Home Team with Blackberry on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Watch for me to drop videos and be there on Thursday nights for when we go live for the Rex Pit. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard PM time every Thursday on The Home Team with Blackberry. Tomorrow afternoon, you'll get to see the second episode of the re-debuting of Let's Be Clear. I might be on the road during that, so I might not be at home, so I'll probably be on the road, so I'll be doing it from my phone. So just learn to be patient with me when I'm out on the road. Just learn to be patient with your boy. But go subscribe, man. Go subscribe. Subscribe to Coach Unchained, man. Let's get him to 500. Got to get Coach Unchained to 500.
Right.
Before we gotta get him to 500 before the draft. Let's get Coach to 500 before the draft. So on draft night, he can collect some real coin, some real money on draft night. Let's get Coach to 500 before draft night. Let's do it.
Exactly. What number you at right now, Coach? So people can know.
I don't even check that thing, bro.
Dang.
When I seen it, he was at like 486. When I seen it, he was like at 486.
486, y'all. He gonna say we at 486.
Yeah, that's 486. Yeah,
Give him 14 more.
That's the first time I checked it in 3 months.
That's the first time I checked in 3 months, bro. I'll be checking it. I don't even push it like that. I do it because I love doing this, bro. That's you guys. If it happened, it happened. I'm still doing it.
No, go ahead and subscribe to Coach Unchained, man. Give him his he being modest, man. Give him 14 more, man. And you know your boy right here, man. I don't know how to tell you, but hey, the Lochness. You can follow me at the Lochness Podcast on YouTube. The Lochness Podcast on YouTube, man. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm pulling up when time allow. It seems like sometimes I got it, sometimes I don't. But I'll be in the building, and then sometimes I come in here. If I don't come on Tuesday, I come, Wednesday morning with my shows. But like I said, follow me at the Lochness Podcast on YouTube. Follow everybody in AFN, everybody in GSN. You know, Mad Mind Sports and everything, the Holy Alliance, everything they're doing over there. The Ladybirds. Go ahead and run us up, subscribe, notification bell, comment, let us know what you want us to talk about, man. Appreciate everybody for showing up. And for those that couldn't make it, they're going to be on the replay. Appreciate you for replaying the content. And per usual, man, hey, rise up.
Peace.